afternoon, everyone. My name is Reverie, and today I have been blessed with the gift of being able to show off mankind's greatest invention in the form of bad video games from 2006. With me on comms is Flub
Hello.
and Sly.
They capitalized the second S in my name. I'm fuming.
So, this is 06. Despite its reputation, this game is an absolutely fantastic speedrun, and I hope to show that off to the best of my ability. So, without further ado, we can begin in 3, 2, 1. Let's go.
Let's go.
Wait. All right. Sonic Story. This starts off with a very exciting mission. Starring a lot of loading screens to even get to that mission in the first place. We got to talk to Tails, and then we got to make our way back to the store and do a side mission. You'll notice that the loads are quite a bit faster than they normally are. That is because we are playing on the emulator version of the game. So the loads are going to go by way faster, and hopefully that will, only show you the best parts of this game. So with mission 1 here, we're just going to go through a bunch of rings, get a 12-second time, nice and
Pretty
standard.
solid.
Yeah. So, we did this in order to get some rings, in order to go to the first stage of the game, because for some reason they were like, yeah, let's put 2 minutes of loading screens before the first stage. So now we bought our first upgrade, and now we are heading to our first stage, which is a bit of an infamous one. So, you want to explain what's about to happen?
Yep. This stage is very well known in this category for killing a lot of the runs early on, simply because of this one skip Rev is about to go for. We'll see if they'll be able to hit it. Oh, they're not even going to go for it. They're going to go for the easier setup. So this is Wave Ocean skip. And you missed it, unfortunately.
Off.
That is a consistent variant skip where you just go to the side of the loop and you do a homing attack whiff off of it and
That should be
go
good.
straight into the... Yeah, that's going to work.
There we go. So,
Nice.
when Sonic locks onto an enemy in this game, he essentially just locks in a direction and says, okay, I'm going to speed forward until I hit this thing. But if we miss, he's just like, whatever, and just speeds forward until he hits literally anything. So we can line ourselves on that loop, force Sonic to whiff, and skip half of the level.
Yeah, it's very nice. And some of you may be asking also, like, how does it work by, like, what does pause buffering have to do with it? Well, you have to actually press A, and then in quick succession press A again, like the next frame.
Uh-oh.
And by pause buffering it basically helps do that, and that's the only way this strat is possible.
Cool.
So you pause buffer it through there. Unless you're doing cave skip, which is a whole other can of worms.
Yeah, no, it's a way harder variation that is slightly faster. So now we're into Mach Speed. I didn't really explain Tails all that much, but he has his own stage. We'll get to that later. But in Mach Speed, the main way you'll see me moving is light dashing and then not moving at all. So the game enforces speed caps very strangely. It only enforces speed caps if you're running. So if you are walking or not holding a direction, the game never caps your speed. So we can keep the light dash speed for as long as possible by just neutral sticking after every light dash. And that's going to be the main way we're going to move in every Mach Speed section. So now we are just going through. We want to stick to this side of the loop because if we go on the right side, we can just get spat out early and die. Oh, and we got the jump out. Let's go. 201, yeah. That's really good.
201 is a very, very nice time to have for Wave Ocean.
Very good time with the consistent skip, so good stuff.
Yeah, you can sub 2 with cave skip, but...
You can also do it with the skip that you just did, but...
True, but it is a lot harder.
That's only been done by very few people.
So now we're supposed to go get an upgrade called the anti-gravity slide, but we don't want to do that just yet. The shop is very, very far out of the way, and we don't actually need anti-grav for the upcoming stage and boss. So we're just going to grab it later.
So here
Now-
we're going to enter Dusty Desert, but before we do, we have to face off against Eggman's bodyguard, the Egg Cerberus. This fight, we'll see this fight twice during this run. This first time is
Oh.
not so bad. We are going to ride Egg Cerberus and ram him into the statue, and that actually deals half of his HP instead of the normal quarter that hitting him against a normal wall would do. So
Okay,
for
thank
Sonic's version of this stage, this goes by pretty quickly. You just gotta ram him into the statues, and that's it.
That's a
26.
26.
Wow, that's
Wow.
a fantastic time.
That is absolutely an Excerpt gold.
fantastic.
You also
try-
got the clip first try.
Yeah, first
so,
try
I mean,
clip plus 26. Damn.
Yeah. Basically, Serb like turned around towards the statue. That's like the RNG you want.
Yeah, the
It
boss.
saves like I think half a second or something like that. I'm not too sure. It prevents you from just having to turn, and you could just make a beeline for the statue.
Yeah, Serb is very heavily RNG, as you'll see in Shadow's story. But now we have our
Alright.
first Princess stage, where we essentially play as a neutered version of our normal moveset. We can't spin dash, we can't do a lot of things, but we do
you can't
have
even
this.
use gems.
Yeah, we do have this very cool shield, and the ability to homing attack. Oh, oops.
Missed it.
That's fine. We can
It's a
just
little
try
bit
that
too
again.
far left. Yeah,
But we do
work.
have
There
this
we go.
cool shield and the ability to mash the shit out of the A button, so we can just move very quickly by this, and it is not RSI inducing whatsoever. But besides that small loop launch, there isn't really much else to this stage, just clean movement. Take dev-intended shortcuts and finish off. Now, actually, we will be seeing our second instant of a damage boost here. We did it in Wave Ocean, but I didn't really have time
Yeah.
to mention it.
You're going to be seeing that across a lot across this whole run, by the way.
Yeah. S ranks in Sonic 06 are bad because they give you an additional gold medal at the end of the stage, and that is a 5.5 second, mostly unskippable cutscene. There's a very niche setup to skip it,
Yeah.
which we'll see in Shadow's story, but
yeah.
throughout Sonic and Silver's story, we want to skip them wherever possible, because if you can skip an S rank in less than 5.5 seconds, you save time.
Yeah. And in some cases too, like you also like just S rank anyway. Like in this boss, you're gonna S rank, but it's still gonna be a whole lot faster than trying not to A rank. And you'll see this too in like Egg Genesis as well. And forget what's the other stage. I can't remember. I think it's only the bosses, right? As
Where
far
we
as I'm aware.
Yeah. But anyway, yeah, that's Silver. Very,
There we go. Yeah.
very fun fight.
A normally very terrible fight casually. Bear in mind.
Beaten by very, very simple AI manipulation.
Yeah.
If you just keep homing and attacking away, he just keeps jumping at you, and he can't grab you while he's jumping. So,
So coming up next is a string of missions that you do before going into the next stage. With the first one being guessing the captain, and I'm sure it's probably really, really
Sure.
tough to actually find where they are.
sure.
But I'd reckon you could probably find it in about a second and a half. We'll see. Let's see. There you go. You did it.
1.4.
That's
Under a
That's-
second
that's
and a
mission
half.
5. There you go.
Absolutely
Very,
terrible mission.
a very infamous mission for just literally talking to the same guy and finishing it.
You talk to the same guy twice. It's supposed to be like a deduce game where you're like all the captains are telling either truths or lies, but it's just the same guy twice. So, now we will actually be picking up the anti-grav slide because it has
Yeah.
very useful. It's very useful in combat, and we have 2 combat missions coming up.
Yep, mission 11 being the more extensive one. And this mission, it can be very, very tough to
He lived.
roll
Bruh.
to. Oh wow, what? That's okay.
Alright,
You
but
could
we're
use
going to use
anti-grav.
anti-grav to mop up these enemies.
Yeah.
It's basically a slower spin dash that's fully invincible. So we're going to use it here to mop up these guys. And then here, you'll see its use on multi-health enemies, where we can just stay inside the enemy for as long as we want, and just deal every damage every time we go in and out. Oh, damn it. What? Okay. Now we're going to do a little spin dash, anti-grav, and homing attack. 44, not bad.
We will soon be done with this string of missions. We just need to go into. We just need to talk to Knuckles first. This is the most exciting bit of gameplay. It's done. Into another
Yep,
loading screen.
that's hub world movement.
Yeah,
Yep.
I blinked
now
and
we-
it was over.
Yeah.
We make our way. We make our way towards White Acropolis here.
There's
To
one
start.
more mission.
To start this side mission, open the cave gate. Wouldn't you believe it? It's another combat mission like the one we just did.
Yep. Although this one's not as extensive, it's pretty consistent and simple.
Except for this, which is...
Oh yeah, that text box. We've been still trying to figure out. Ooh, 17, nice. We've been still trying to figure out how to make that text box go up as early as we can. It just seems random at some points.
Because the text box ends the mission. Like, if you never touch that text box, you never end the mission. So,
Yeah.
the gap between you killing the final enemy and the end of the mission is essentially random. But now we're in White Acropolis, and we're on the second of our gameplay styles that they use twice for some reason. We're on the snowboard, and while we're on the snowboard, we want to be crouching as much as possible because it gives us better turn control and prevents us from bonking. And here, I'm going to take a jump a bit early, and that's going to store the speed of the jump into our normal snowboard speed.
And then
So
there's another speed cap too.
Yeah, so we get to break the snowboard speed cap and go very, very fast. We're currently moving 3 times faster than normal-ish. But that makes this section very scary, because if you take a wrong turn or if you mess up a line, you essentially are at risk of dying at pretty much any point, because the game is not meant to handle this much speed. So it's very easy to just run into a wall, clip through it, and then die, but we did not do that, thankfully.
Yeah, a very common theme you're going to see in this game is that with a lot of speed, you can clip through pretty much anything. Like, walls are just a suggestion. Speaking of the
A.
suggestion,
Oh,
here is a homing attacking into a laser wall.
messed
Oh,
up the
just
setup.
resetting.
Yeah.
But if we homing attack into this laser wall correctly, we can curve around and then
well,
jump
there we go.
across
There we
this
go.
chasm, like so.
I think there's a section with tails in this stage. I
and-
don't know. Oh,
Yeah, that.
Oh, there we
That's-
go.
that's fine.
Nice.
Clean
And that's
physics
another. That's another skip you can do to skip the whole half pipe section. I think it saves about a second or something.
It's
like
a
that.
second to half a second, depending on how fast you do it.
Yeah, that was a little bit slower, but I mean, it still gets the job done.
And it's cool. So essentially, we
Absolutely.
break that tower in a way so that the debris allows the big platform to tilt, so we can get enough height to jump on the other platform. And now we're in our second and final snowboard stage, which we will be doing more speed
Yeah.
games.
The most remembered stage in this game, according to
Sonic Generations. It should have been Kingdom Valley. It should have been Kingdom Valley.
It should have been Kingdom Valley. I agree.
Crisis City's cool. We get cool remixes and
we-
generations.
We get speed caps.
So right, we will see that later on because there is a generations run going on later on. So we will see Sonic go through Crisis City again.
But
But-
now I am taking very, very deliberate,
Oh.
and safe lines. Safe
That
TM.
was
Safe
oh, yeah,
TM.
going left of the worm. Yeah, sometimes that you could hit that worm and you'll actually get double hit.
Yeah,
and
no,
it's-
it is,
Yeah.
again, very easy to die, but we're through. And now we're going to do another homing attack whiff. You saw it on those loops earlier, but now we're going to do it. Oh. Okay,
Oh,
Oh,
on a rail.
There we
There we go.
yeah.
just about made it.
That skips a very, very long fall, or a very, very long set of rails, depending on which one you take.
And then
so.
spring skip. Because that spring is very slow for whatever reason.
No, I am not going for clinch jump. Last time I went for clinch jump in a marathon, I died, so we're not doing it. You can jump around to the other
I think
side. and
It
save
only
a second.
saves like a
but-
second.
Yeah, it saves a single second. So, and you jump over a very, very scary pit.
So one thing as well, when we're riding on rails, we can do grind excels, but for some reason in this game, they're a bit weird in how they work. You have to time your X presses, and every time you press it, you get like a little increase of speed. So with good enough timing, we can go through rails a little bit faster than normal.
And it's strange because the timing for the rails is completely independent of the trick animation. Like, it's its own invisible timer. So the actual rhythm is not at all what you would expect. But if you go too fast, the game locks you out and immediately sets you to minimum speed. So it's a neat balancing act between trying to go fast versus trying to not go too fast.
As we enter the next section of Crisis City, we're going to be platforming on a bunch of debris here, going through real speedrunner-like.
I do not want to take that bird. Very speedrun, very epic. Oh, I also didn't mention, yeah, we can jump out of spin dash. If you initiate a spin kick while in a spin dash and then jump cancel the spin kick, you are able to jump out of spin dash. Like, that's not an intended game mechanic. That is technically an exploit that we're able to jump out of spin dash.
Yeah.
It's something so natural that I just, like, overlook it constantly. I'm like, oh, wait, casuals don't know how to do that.
You can't just spin dash jump because they wanted to nerf the spin dash jump from the older adventure games, but we found a way still.
So we're going through the Mach speed section here. We want to do a bunch of light speed dashes. We want to also look to get hit at some point because that will help us avoid the S rank in this level.
Luckily, there's a
But
box
for now-
right here that we can slam our face into and then continue on. Oh, we got hit at the end.
You got hit anyway.
That's like the ideal strat. The box is a safety strat.
Does the box hitting the box save time over the?
It doesn't save time over
like-
getting hit by random debris, but it's very easy to not get hit by random debris.
Yeah.
It saves time over the S rank, though. But yeah, that was Crisis City, and now we are on to our third main stage in a row. These three stages back to back to back is kind of messed up. I'm not gonna lie. This stage is very, very hard.
Yeah, I mean, we've done a lot of side missions to get here, so some form of balancing act, but we gotta be careful not to fall off here as we fall off to do a corner cut. And then we gotta get through here and do this very, very tight jump here.
There you go, it's
Very
easy.
nice.
Nice.
This is
And with enough speed, we can just clip right through that door and get into this next section way earlier without doing the combat section.
Yeah, that door is very easy to clip through. You can literally just hold forward at the door and you'll clip through it. Like, you can just walk at it. It's very, very funny. Now we have Lava River. We're gonna damage boost and ignore the entire thing. Epic.
Yeah. Playing it safe, hitting the enemy.
Yeah, I didn't trust my angle. Nice
Yeah.
box.
Also, that box could be completely random place each time, so sometimes it actually bothers, like it covers the spring sometimes when you do like ILs or like in a run. It's very bad.
Yeah, and that second combat door is literally impossible to clip through. Like, even with Sonic's
Yeah,
full moveset,
Skygen.
we can't clip through it.
like even with Skygen, it put through.
Yeah,
So we
so
just
we're
have
forced
to
to
do
do the
that
combat
combat.
there. But that was a pretty. Oh my god!
You
Shout out
jinxed
to the
it.
shout out to
There
the
you go.
random shout out to the random meteors.
Shoutouts to Cocoa Puffs.
Now we are in the volcano, and we're gonna hope to. Oh my god!
Oh,
This rail sucks. Getting on this rail fast is like the worst thing imaginable because homing attack doesn't function.
Yeah, that's not good.
Okay, there we go.
There we
go.
Good God. So now we've grabbing the invincibility, and we're gonna witness anti-grav's non-combat uses, where you can clip through walls. If you are on a horizontal wall, literally all you have to do to clip through it is hold the X button and then release it. It's that simple.
I think here you don't need a damage boost because of how little rings you have.
Yeah, I can just
I
fall into the
remember
goal ring.
correctly.
So
Yeah.
we're Knuckles. We're supposed to hit a bunch of orbs. I think. I don't know. I've never played that part
Yeah.
of the stage.
And you just clip through and skip that entire section with the purple orbs and just
228.
finish the
Nice.
stage as Knuckles, which normally you're supposed to finish it as Sonic, but because we just clip through and skip the rest of the stage, you just finish it as Knuckles, and you get to play through the results screen. It's very funny.
Yeah, if
And
you
we
switch.
get to play through. We get to play through the results screen due to how character swaps work, and we are going to be abusing that fact later on in Shadow Story. But for now, we have the enemy Iblis Phase 2.
I want to
this,
see you. I want to see you do the fast Iblis.
I'm not doing fast Iblis. Get literally like die.
What is the point?
So this boss is 2.5 minutes of auto scroller, and we skip half of it.
Mm-hmm.
It's supposed to be 5 minutes of auto scroller with RNG. I forgot it has RNG too. So we literally just damage boost to hit these orbs early, and we save like 1.5 minutes. It's the entire fight.
Yeah.
And now every single one of these hits, I can gain or lose 2 seconds based on when these platforms fall.
Yeah. So you see the middle platform. If it's not there, that means you lose a couple seconds from that happening.
Well, I guess you don't really gain 2 seconds. You just lose 2 seconds sometimes. So
Yeah.
232 is like optimal RNG where it doesn't happen at all.
And of course, in Sonic 06 fashion, because canonically both Sonic and Shadow get to this point and they meet up and they have to face off against this enemy. We will have to face him again, but it's quite unfortunate that we have to fight this enemy again and do this all over again with nothing different, right?
It's true.
Yeah,
Nothing
exactly.
different.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you'll see in about an hour. Give or
In
take.
about an hour. It's true.
I don't even know.
There's a lot of game left.
So while we're finishing off this boss fight, we're going to deliver the final hit very soon. I just want to remind everyone this is a nice little
Nice.
this is a nice little charity event we're running. So if our host has anything to add on to that, you can feel free.
Absolutely, I shall do so. Yes, this year's Birthday Blast, we are raising money for Able Gamers. The Able Gamers mission statement focuses on creating opportunities to enable play in order to foster inclusive communities, combat social isolation, and improve the quality of life for people with disabilities. One way they have done this, that you may have already come across, is how they've helped create the Xbox Adaptive Controller. The inspiration for the final product came in part from the Adroit Switchblade controller created by Able Gamers. More information on what donations are put towards and how you can create your own fundraiser for the charity can be found on their website at ablegamers.org. And before I throw it back, I have been asked to ask the runner to up the game by 10 decibels so we can hear all this beautiful game of all time.
Up the game by 10 decibels?
I know, right?
That's a lot of decibels. Here you go. I mean, I don't have 10 decibels worth of room. Sorry.
Whoops.
Alright, now we're out of the future. We went to the future for those 3 stages, and now we're going to pick up the bounce bracelet, which is surprisingly not as broken as you'd expect. Like, there are some very niche uses where we use it, like, on slanted walls to maintain gravity, but none of those appear in the run, so we're going to use it to open this vent, and then, like, nothing else.
Yep. Alright, next stage, Rattle the Train. This stage has a lot of very precise platforming. Probably some of the hardest, actually, in the category in this story alone. There's a lot of tight jumps you could do to save time. Like, there's a different route that I'm not sure if we're gonna see here, but
Hell no.
yeah, there's a different route that you could do here, where you could go to the left and just do a massive jump and barely be able to make it. It saves like a second over this, but
yeah.
it's
So
very, very
the
tough.
gimmick of this stage is there's a passenger train that's rigged to hit some explosives, so we have to go ahead and hit the explosives early in order to not damage the passengers. So we are just speeding along, and that does mean we do have to hit the switches, because if you don't hit a switch after a certain amount of time, you'll just die. And we can't make it to the end of this section fast enough. But we don't have to hit that switch, because we can just clip through this door and go to the end of the section.
Yeah.
Because can't destroy the train if there's no train.
If you try to clip through the others, the train's eventually just gonna kill you. But you could do it with Red Gem, but unfortunately in story we don't have access to that yet. So
Clean ramp skip. I did a very,
Nice.
very tight jump there in order to skip some automation. Saves like 4 seconds, I think. This is a very good radical train.
Oh.
I almost died there.
I was almost deaf.
Yeah, I pushed that light dash a little too
This is
hard.
the
But
143.
143, I
143.
cannot complain. That is a very good time.
Especially without the left route, like
That's
very
true.
good. So, okay. Up next is what could be quite the funniest boss in the whole run. Now, on console, you have to worry about this boss, and it's actually really tough. But on emulator, you're about to see some magic. Some absolute magic come into play.
So, fun fact, if you're ever faced with a giant mech, stand on one of its hatches and it will die.
Yep.
Yeah.
I don't
There you
we
go.
don't have an explanation for that one. It just happens.
This is an emulator exclusive glitch
Funny.
that happens. Yeah.
We don't even
so-
have a theory. It just happens.
Yeah.
Just a small little emulator inaccuracy
I
that just
believe.
makes it happen.
That's the
I believe
theory,
you could also
yeah.
do it on silver too, if I remember correctly.
Yes, you do. It saves much less time in silver, but it is still time save, so we do it. And the important thing about that boss is we actually don't get the 10k you normally get from killing a boss, so we actually get to skip the S rank, on top of killing it instantly. It's very awesome. But now we have our second and last princess stage, and this stage sucks. Like,
Yep.
I'm just gonna keep it real. This stage is not fun. These vines are the worst thing imaginable, both casually and in a speedrun.
Yeah. I definitely agree with you. This is my also least favorite stage in the run.
This vine can just kill you. If you press the A button on a certain frame of that vine, it will drop you down and it will kill you, which is why I took a second swing. Because it
Yeah.
doesn't happen on the second swing, for some reason.
It's a frame perfect mistake, by the way.
But it is so easy to make. Like, it does not feel frame perfect.
It could also happen on this vine too, but
I haven't had it happen on that vine. Thank God. But this is a stage that should be easy by all accounts, but it is so nerve-wracking for that one specific reason. Also, there's a capsule to the right there that you can randomly lock onto, and if you lock onto it, it will kill you. Also, we clip through this log. Skip a
Yep.
lot of automation. Very cool.
skip through all the loops and all the stuff. You could just go to the end right here.
Now this section. This is a very long,
Yeah.
arduous section where we must light dash and hold forward.
Yeah, there's no faster movement than this. You have to deal with just the walking here.
This is the power of straight lines.
And also, normally on console, you'd actually have to do lag reduction strats here. But on emulator, that's not an issue.
Yeah,
so.
you pan the camera down on console in order to reduce lag.
Yeah, kind of
but-
like how people do for like GoldenEye, for example. But
144 is not a bad time for
yeah,
second swing.
that's pretty solid. All right, you know what time it is after this stage.
Oh God.
It's time for Tails Wave Ocean.
Time
This
for
is
Flub
my
to roast
stage.
me over over how bad I'm playing Tails Wave Ocean.
This is my stage.
This is the only fun part of Sonic's story.
Oh,
we
yeah,
get to play
I don't
this-
know if I'd say all that.
This is the only other time you play as Tails besides Sonic's Wave Ocean. You play Sonic's Wave Ocean portion, and then you play Wave Ocean again as Tails. It's the only stage you play twice in the same story.
Because they were like, yes, this is what we need. Alright, that
is that
looks
gonna work?
good.
Yeah, just turn a
Oh,
little bit
I
left.
didn't get over the wall. Okay,
Yeah.
we're taking the backup
You're
route
doing
here.
you're doing the PO6 route. Yeah, I think this is the route people do in PO6, if I remember
A little
correctly.
bit.
So,
But, Flub, you want to explain Tails' flight? And
yeah,
why
so
I'm going a bit higher?
So the reason as to why Tails is flying a lot longer than usual is because, believe it or not, Tails has a cap in his flight to where if he hits a ceiling, then he's gonna have way less height. But what Rev is doing here is basically barely not making it to that ceiling, and then just carrying the flight a little bit longer by doing an A press a little bit later. Think of it as like a little meter that goes up or down. If he hit the top of it, then Tails is just gonna stop dead in his tracks. And then if you barely miss it, then you could just do another A press to keep the flight going for a little bit longer, which is what Rev is doing here.
Yeah, if you're not holding A, the game doesn't recognize that you're flying, so you get to bypass the ceiling.
Yeah, exactly. And if you hit the cap of the flight, then
It's very scary.
over the water, yeah, no, you're dead.
You are dead. Thank God I don't have to play that stage anymore.
I've literally lost a run to missing the flight cap at the very last gap over.
It's so unfortunate because like you just can't recover. But now we are picking up our
Another
favorite
string of
upgrades.
missions. Green
Another
gem
string
and
of
blue gem.
missions, but we're getting the gems, which are very infamous for being broken. Blue gem is now our main source of movement. It is tricky though because you bonk on basically everything, and every time you bonk, you lose 2 seconds. So,
Basically,
blue gem has a very very high skill ceiling because of that.
Yeah, you basically have Mach 1 speed, like the same speed in the Mach speed sections without the light dash when you use blue gem. So it could be very, very hard to control a lot of the time when you're playing it in the run. Yeah, we use this to our advantage in every stage from this point onward.
Because it is so much faster than spin dashing.
Yeah. Although in one section of the next stage we're gonna play, you probably won't be using the blue gem just for safety, if you know what I'm talking about.
Also,
So here
this
is,
mission-
without a doubt, one of the worst missions ever.
Yeah. Like bounce.
You have
Yay,
to-
let's go.
You have to defeat all of these enemies without picking up a single ring. So if you take a single hit of damage, you actually lose.
Fuck,
Kind of
man!
like that.
The
Kinda
fucking
like that.
hornet!
There we go.
That hornet is
Although
the
it
worst
does-
enemy in the game.
It does not lose as much time on emulator as it would on console because of all the.
Yeah,
loading
no, on
screens.
console, if you die in this mission, you lose 2 minutes.
Yeah, it's actually. It's
It's
tragic.
really quite fun.
All right. It's a very scary mission.
It's like, it shouldn't kill your run. But it does. It just does sometimes. I'm gonna take this, like, uber safe. I hate you. Die. Die.
Yeah.
Alright,
The
epic.
green gem has a few uses, but it can also be used as a safety in this mission in particular because, as we've seen, this mission can go several ways,
Yeah.
and that's
most of them are
that's
bad.
the good ending. That's the
The
good, ending. There we go.
finally. That's like the only scary trial. The first trial was a warp portal maze that we can just cheese by bouncing at the right spot, but this is... That one...
All right,
No.
everyone in chat, Amy or Elise?
You're gonna be real fucking disappointed.
Let's see.
Oh, I didn't get the
Boo!
thing. Wah, wah. So, that mission is you literally just pick Amy or Elise, and no matter what you pick, you get an S rank and you win. But, however, Elise is 2 frames faster, therefore making her the correct choice. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, although Elise is a little harder to execute because of the.
Yeah,
the
so you're
turn you
more
have to make.
skilled and you save time. That's all I'm saying.
And yet you lost time.
I did lose time. I lost it. I did the movement bad. Alright, Kingdom Valley. I'm gonna shut up. This stage is hard.
Yep. Right away, we're going to be seeing a massive skip to skip this huge half-pipe section and just head straight towards the air currents to the next section. Doing the other route. Normally, you could do a spin dash jump up here and skip that little route, but she's going to play it safe here. And then here, there's another instance of spin dashing into a dash pad while neutral sticking. Basically, it carries all your speed. It carries basically the most speed that you can, and you just use the blue gem to your advantage there. And then you skip the eagle.
And now we're gonna not play a silver.
Silver skip. Although it has been theorized that you could telethrow here.
It would be the worst thing imaginable.
But the thing is there's an invisible wall by the area where you start, and so telethrowing there requires a very, very good angle in order for it to work. And we've been trying to figure it out.
We haven't even explained what telethrow is yet. We'll get to it when we get to silver.
Yeah, and we'll see.
There.
We'll talk about it more once we get to the silver portion, but which is soon.
Yeah.
Right here, we're going to be doing another door clip, flipping through there. And then here, we're going to be skipping some of the air currents to go over to the next section.
My God.
No!
That's so unfortunate.
Oh. Yeah, once you bounce bracelet there's nothing you can do. You can't even
you are
sky jump or
locked.
anything.
Yeah, you are locked until you hit the ground.
Yeah. Unlike SA2 and some of the other games, you can't jump or anything. You're just locked in.
There we go. That's what I was trying to do.
Position.
But coming up, we have our one and only use of the green gem potentially.
Yeah.
Castle skip.
Potentially a keyword.
Yeah, this is an 8-second time save, but it requires me to get a pretty tight homing attack.
Let's see if you'll hit it. Oh,
You got the eagle.
they got the eagle. Oh my gosh. Let's see. Jumping
looks
up
good.
here and then hitting the trigger.
Yeah,
Hey,
let's go.
Very
Yeah,
nice.
so that strat saves 8 seconds over doing the automation. And the automation is very slow. You basically go through a bunch of springs and stuff.
Long.
Yeah. It's a very, very neat skip.
And that is the only reason we could buy the green gem.
Yeah, exactly.
I used it in Mission 19, but normally you don't use it there.
Yeah. And there, blue gemming down that staircase can result in death, so,
Yeah,
Red
no,
just ended up
I am not a
taking
second. I am not a second stairway blue gemmer. I am a blue gemmer here, though. Oh, I didn't get the clip, really.
yeah.
I
At
love
least you
skid
can
clip,
back
but-
it up.
Yeah. But now we are into our final Mach speed section. This is probably the easiest one. It's not.
This is a pretty solid Kingdom Valley, too. I think this is going to be a
Mid
321.
321.
It's a 321. Yeah.
That's a bit above my pay grade. Not gonna lie. That's really good. If you're correct, I think this is
to
a
be
mid
fair,
320.
you did get Cape Skip, so
All right, I did get castle skip,
we'll
yeah.
see.
But this is
Yeah.
not a very involved Mach speed section. We just play the game well.
This is
don't
the
die.
easiest Mach speed section in the game.
Get a silver medal for our troubles. You might be right. This might be a low 320. Sheesh.
Hey, let's go.
That's so good.
That's a very good time.
I popped off.
Is that gonna gold for you, actually?
Absolutely. Well, actually, I died in section 3, so it's not gonna gold, but that is... It would have golded.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Anyway, now we are slightly in the past again. This game, I guess, has a story. But now we are tasked with hitting 3 bells across town to open up the final stage. So that means we have to blue gem around the hub world, and the hub world has buildings, number 1, and it has random passerbys that you can bonk on, which is
Yeah.
very fun.
Ooh.
We love the townspeople.
So our goal is to get through this entire segment without bonking, which we have already failed, but, you know, silver linings.
For a second, I thought you were about to go into Pele.
Yeah, me too. There's a mission there that is very easy to go into
Yeah.
on accident if you are not
Yeah.
careful.
Shoutouts to Aura A66.
But now we picked up our final 2 gems, and the first one is basically like an Ender Pearl. You throw the gem, and wherever it lands,
Ender
you get teleported to. I mean, it's an Ender Pearl. That's what it is.
I guess so.
I'm gonna shut up again.
Anyways, yeah, aquatic base probably the hardest stage in the whole category of Sonic Story. There's a lot of tough clips that you do, and it's very reliant on the blue gem movement and basically trying to not bonk, because bonking like could really just add up to your time.
Yeah,
I
it
think
loses.
It's, like 2 seconds.
It's 2 seconds every time. Oh my god.
So you're just adding to the pile of bongs when you do this stage. It's very, very tough.
And it also tests your gem menuing. Like that is going to be especially apparent here because I have to menu to Sky Gem. And now we're going to do Aquatic Base Skip. Oh, that is
no,
not where I want to go.
Oh, okay, that's fine. You can just put back in. There you go.
Okay, we're fine.
And then you're at the start of Shadow's section.
And now we're going to
Aquatic
menu
Base.
to Sky again, clip through this door. Now
Yeah.
menu to White, clip through this
And then
door,
this
and then
is
menu
it.
to Sky and throw the Sky Gem.
And normally you have to do some shenanigans with tails and do like all that and go on the ball, but no, we just get to skip all of it
Nah.
pretty much.
That's why we don't. That's why we don't pick up the purple gem. Purple gem is another very infamous gem. It gives you infinite jumps, but it's actually pretty slow in this run.
Yeah, we used to pick up purple gem before a certain skip was found in silver.
Oh my god.
So
come on.
but you're not going to be seeing that today.
But we
in this
are gonna be skipping a little bit of
Knuckles?
Knuckles. Sorry,
Yeah.
Knuckles enjoyers, but we are not gonna be seeing him. We're gonna do a sequence of very, very precise Sky Gem throws in order to skip Knuckles.
There we go.
That looks good. Yeah. So that
Very
saves like a
nice.
second IGT. It is impossibly precise
Oh,
to say. Oh my god.
he died. That's fine. He hit
It
the
is-
checkpoint.
Yeah, it is super precise to save time with, so very, very few runners do it. I got a
the
little
top
greedy
of
with
that
Sky
bar
Gem
with
throw.
the sky gem is very tough.
Yeah.
All right, and then here we just do another white gem
Bruh.
to skip through that combat of enemies.
This was certainly an aquatic base.
Yeah,
I
this
bonked
stage
there?
can very much go very sideways easily.
It is
because of,
very easy for things to go wrong. Funny story, that saves 3 seconds on my PB.
Yep.
Incredible.
I got rolled. But that is the last Sonic stage we'll be playing, and essentially the last real split in Sonic Story, because the next split is... Blink and
the
you'll miss
last
it.
time you play a Sonic until the very end of the category.
So now that Sonic has gone through aquatic base, we're going to attack Egg Wyvern, use a Sky Gem, use a Sky Gem again. Egg Wyvern
And
is
he's
dead.
And we're done!
GG Sonic Story.
Yeah, that was a
There
pretty
we
good.
go.
That was a
What was
mid.
the time?
That was a mid 37, so not bad.
But we still got 2 more stories to go. We're going to be going on to Silver's story now. Sonic Story, a brilliant showcase from Rev, as you know, something you would expect from Rev. Just absolutely incredible Sonic gameplay. But now we are going to go into Silver's story, and there is going to be a bit of a huge change of pace. With Sonic, you kind of blaze through all the levels, but with Silver, Silver doesn't have a lot of fast options, but we do have glitches, including this one. This is the telethrow. If we pick up an object and throw it while we're on it, we will be thrown in the direction that Silver's feet are at, and we can abuse this as much as possible. But here we get taken to a section of the blaze. We're going to be avoiding it with some frame perfect inputs called levitation extensions. There are gonna be more frame perfect inputs later, but Ellie's just let you go a little bit further with every hover, and we do another telethrow here to get to the end of this section. You'll notice a bit of a pattern with the first half of Silver. The second half of Silver has a totally different technique with a totally different playstyle. But for now, we're going to be telethrowing as much as possible. We're going to go straight to the end of the level here. And this is Crisis City in under a minute.
There you
56
go.
seconds, pretty nice.
Yeah, and normally you're supposed to finish this as Blaze, if I remember correctly.
No, you're supposed to
No,
finish
you-
it at silver. But if you switch characters and then don't touch a checkpoint and then finish the stage, the game doesn't know what character you're playing as, so it can't play a results animation.
Yeah.
But
we do
that
play
is
as Blaze. We do play as Blaze for about a couple frames at the beginning of that section. So now we're going to go into Iblis Phase 1. We fought Phase 2 earlier, and here is Phase 1. We're going to be throwing these rocks in sets of 3s. And if we're lucky, and if we're fortunate enough, we can see the third time we do this, we might get to see the bonus cycle strat. So we're going to pick up the rocks here, and as Iblis is going to throw his meatballs all over the arena, we're going to try and hit him. There's one hit.
That looks good. Nice.
There's the
Yes.
bonus cycle. Hey, let's
There's
go.
the bonus cycle.
That saves about 4 seconds, I believe, but I'm actually kind of low on puffs here, so hopefully these hit. Okay, we're good.
There we go. 38.
38
Yeah.
is very
Sub
nice.
40. Sub 40 Iblis 2 is very, very good, especially.
You cannot complain at all with an
Or
Iblis
sorry,
like
Iblis
that.
1. Sorry.
Yeah.
So now, in the storyline, Silver gets transported to the present. We were in the future, but now we're going to the present, and we need to find our way through tropical jungle. We have a bit of hub world movement here, which is kind of dull, but we do have ways to make it exciting. Because of course there is something you can pick, and if there's something you can pick, you can telethrow on it.
Yeah, we really cannot stress enough. If you can lift an object, you can telethrow off of it. Like, the only thing you need to telethrow is a kind of harsh angle on the object. Because the game aims to throw it wherever it thinks down is, but if down is at your feet, then you stick to the object and you can fly on it.
Absolutely, we truly mean you can telethrow on anything. We're going to see a
Anything.
very funny one. We're going to see a very funny one later, but for now we are going to go through tropical jungle, and we're going to use that everything recipe to our advantage by using this explosive box. We tilt it enough so that it allows us to stand on its side, and then we can telethrow on it.
This is a
And we
very
can clear-
low angle.
We
But
can
it's okay, because
telethrow-
Silver is a manlet and can walk under those lasers.
Yep. Silver is tiny and can just walk under lasers. And with that, that's Tropical Jungle. This is a very long and boring level casually, and we just cleared it in about 23 seconds.
Very
very,
epic. That's,
very nice.
That's what you get with Silver. It's a lot of shortcuts. Now, I
Mhm.
just held X on save, and I'm letting go on this loading screen. That allows me to buffer an X input to break this automation. And we're going to be doing the same thing as Sonic, as we did in Sonic's Wave Ocean, but we're going to be doing it in a different direction. Because we get to do that, because we're Blaze. Oh, I died.
Whoop.
Can
So
you
that's
get the
what-
frame rate?
Father.
That's what happens if you miss. You just speed until you die. Because there is a failsafe death plane, like way out of bounds, and you hit it very quickly. So let's see if I can hit it again. Nice.
There we go. And
Very nice.
yeah, and this strat we mentioned earlier exists in Sonic as well, but in Sonic you get a lot less air mobility because of the homing attack. Meanwhile, with Blaze, you could just easily move around and have a lot easier of a time with this variant as opposed to Sonic.
Yeah, it's funny because it's like Blaze can't pause buffer her homing attack, so it's like Wave Ocean skip is harder for her, but Cave skip is easier. Very interesting dichotomy.
Yeah, in Sonic it's vice versa, so it's a little strange.
And unfortunately, the loop launchers that you've seen in Wave Ocean only exist on the Xbox 360 version. Us PS3 humble gamers have to do these levels skipless, unfortunately.
Well, I mean,
There
you
is
have-
a bit
you have
of
Lighthouse launch.
There is a. We have Lighthouse launch, and then we also have the scarier strats such as AFC, which we might see later in this run, maybe, hopefully.
Yeah.
But yeah, for now we need to talk to some people in the town, and by doing that, we're meant to go through a mission here. We're meant to go through mission 8, but if we pick up these boxes, we can lift them through this doorway here, and we can clip out of bounds, with which will allow us to skip Mission 8, and will also let us enter Dusty Desert super early.
Yeah, this is a
makes sense.
theme with Shadow and Silver's stories because they only thought to put checks on the hubs in Sonic's story. Checks just don't exist in the other two, so you can skip things wherever possible.
And this is one of the worst levels of Silver's story. This is Dusty Desert. We're going to be using these pots to clip out of bounds here,
Oh, you
and
asshole.
landing on this very precise spot.
No,
Unfortunately,
He broke my pot, man. This level is super hard because there are no backups. You essentially just have to do everything off rip first try. Oh my god, come on, man.
Yeah, and there's certain wave cycles in this that you have to be in time for as well. So if you don't get it in a certain amount of time, you have to wait like 10-15 seconds for the next one.
Okay.
There we go.
Hopefully he doesn't break my pots again. Okay.
so now that we're out here, we grab this pot and we wait for the sand waves to hit. And the big one will be able to push the pot out of bounds and use it to our advantage. And guess what? We're going to telethrow on the pot. This telethrow is a bit tighter. This is also a really awkward position for the pot.
Come on. I need it to be... I need it to... There we go.
Like
that.
that. Oh,
Right.
is that,
No, this is
good
fine.
enough. This is good enough. We need to telethrow while avoiding death planes and avoiding going inbounds, so this is a bit of a tight telethrow, but Rev
We're
clears it, no problem. As we go into the goal ring. Bit of an unfortunate Dusty Desert, but still.
What can you do? This stage is a run killer for sure.
This stage has a lot going on, like, the second fastest strat loses, like, minutes. It's
Yeah.
quite absurd.
You really just cannot deviate from that route at all.
Yeah, there's like a whole section with Amy. You do actually play as Amy in this game, believe it or not. We'll see that later.
We will, unfortunately.
But for now, we are going to go through the Sonic boss fight. We fought Silver as Sonic, now we're going to fight Sonic as Silver. And as you can see, he gets a little bit more annoying than the
That
Silver
is very
fight.
close. It is very possible for you to accidentally hit yourself with your own objects and die. So I am trying to steer clear of that wherever possible. This fight is either it's like the Murphy's Law of boss fights. It's like it either goes terribly, like it just did, or it goes extremely well. We're supposed to get a 13 there.
you got a slower time than you did in Sonic.
That's true. Aug.
Normally not the case.
Like, it's just like boss fights in Silver in general just abide by Murphy's Law. It's like, Silver combat is so whack, especially if, like, your items just die. But now, we're at the point of the story where we're supposed to be grabbing an upgrade, the Shock Bracelet. But it is both slower to grab it and slower across the entire rest of the run if we grab it, so we're going to be skipping it. And unlike the anti-grav, we will not be getting it later, because again, it is way slower across the rest of the run, and you'll see why later.
Yeah, this game likes to store everything on the X button. Like as Sonic, if you're holding the X button and holding neutral, you go into a spin dash. If you touch your analog stick, you do the anti-grav slide. If you tap X, you spin kick. They bind everything to the X button, including the Shock Bracelet, which is basically a ground pound move,
Oh my
but
god.
we're going to be trying to skip it here. We need to use the ground pound to disable these
There we go.
lasers.
That was very sketchy.
So now we just go through the lasers and into White Acropolis.
Don't ask
White
why that sign
Acropolis
clip works, I
starts
don't know.
off- It works.
It just works.
But here,
TM.
we're going to be playing as Blaze and going through this section here. And at the end of it, we're going to see some flashy combat with Blaze, particularly with her Fire Claw technique. Or we can use the Fire Claw technique for other things, which
I will be
hopefully we'll
going
see.
for it, but I
You're gonna
cannot
go for
guarantee-
AFC?
Yeah, I can't guarantee I'll hit it, because
Okay.
it is a frame-perfect trick, but it does save time. And it's cool, so I'm going for it.
I think it saves like 7 seconds.
Yep,
or something
about.
like that.
7 to 10, depending on how fast you do the combat. So, Blaze has two variations of Spinning Claw, the ground one and the air one. And if you press the button frame perfectly, you can essentially perform both at once. Ah, I didn't get it.
Ah,
So
Unfortunate.
that allows you to store the speed of the ground version while having the duration, the extended duration of the air version. So you can store the speed of the dash panels and clip through the door. That was a really good combat. Holy, but I got hit.
until the end, yeah. And then here we're going to be abusing telethrow a little bit more. You're going to see a lot of this strat in the run. Not even just in the stages that we've seen it already. We're going to see it pretty much, I think.
There's
I
only
mean, we still-
there's only
we
one
still have-
base. Yeah, except for aquatic base, we use it literally in every stage.
Yeah, we have a good handful of
Oh, nice.
telethrows to go, but we will
Oh.
very soon be unlocking a new strat.
Would have been so sick if you hit him. Hit the...
Alright, so that telethrow around the wall was actually very, very tight, way tighter than I made it look. This stage is a bit of a, not run killer, but like run ender, as in like, you lose so much time that you're just like, I cannot continue this. Can you cooperate with me, man? Okay, I guess not. Alright, we're doing the spike ball back up.
A spike ball back up, so we need to take damage here and pick up the string again. Go onto the spike ball and use that to telethrow, because of course, you know, the lore
Any
of the
object.
story is that the lore of this story is that you can pick up whatever you can pick up, you can telethrow. There are two important things in this story. It's that, and also the fact that this story kind of sucks and is very volatile and can end at literally any moment.
Yeah, every split is a run killer. We're done with White Acropolis, and now we get to the funny.
We get to Egg Genesis. Now, last time we skipped this fight, and I hope this time we will actually be able to play it and beat
Surely,
it. like
surely we
intended.
will. Surely the speedrunner won't save time by skipping the boss entirely. Surely.
This is, of course, like the last one, emulator exclusive, and exclusive to like very particular builds of the emulator. There's some
It's
stuff
not.
going
It's
on
not
there.
particular. It's just been patched recently, like in like 2023 builds. So we use 2021
So-
builds wherever possible. Epic
And
boss
he's gone.
fight. It's the most consistent boss in Silver, even on 360. It's just a cycle. You have to count to 6, fire 6 missiles. It's boring. I'm glad we skip it.
It is the most consistent boss, but that's not to say it's consistent.
I would say
It
it's
can
pretty
be- it
consistent,
can-
but it can.
You can have a meltdown, but
Anything
here
can
we are
happen.
forced into an Amy side mission now. Yeah, this is Amy.
I am moving as fast as the game will let me move.
Amy moves incredibly slowly. Her attack is very slow. She has a double jump, but that is incredibly slow. She can also turn invisible for some reason.
Which is even slower. Literally, the only thing we do is walk and press the X button. But even still, this mission is pretty fun to optimize because it's all about lines, and it's about getting close enough to enemies to double hit them like that, but not getting too close so that you get hit. It's a fun balancing act. That only gets fun when you get good at the category, because otherwise you're just like, get me out of here, man. Is that a 49?
Can get the double hit.
Oh, I
Nope,
didn't get the
not
double
the
hit.
double.
Would have been a 49.
And that's Amy. This is one of 2 times that we're going to see her throughout this entire run. And
Yeah.
yes, the other time will be just about as long as that.
Yeah, pretty much. But now is where everything changes. This is the
Oh,
halfway point of
yeah.
Silver's story. And this is where we pick up a very, very crucial upgrade called the Heart of Wind. And that gives us access to a very short but very fast teleport dash. But with a
If
little
only we
bit
could
of
extend it.
shenanigans, we can extend it. Silver's air stun slap move has very strange properties when it comes to momentum preservation. We kind of mentioned it in Crisis City, where you can levitation extend like that by pressing the X button frame perfectly, but you can also extend the teleport dash. But again,
And thus, we changed the entire meta of the game.
yeah,
or
this
the
is a
story
frame
even.
perfect trick, and it does allow you to clip through walls. So we're going to be clipping through this wall to skip mission 12, mission 11. For some reason, mission 11 comes after mission 12. So we're going to be skipping a mission and just enter Radical Train normally. Well, normally, quote unquote. We're going to be entering Radical Train without beating the mission, because again, they didn't think to add checks to anything. So we can just bypass the story structure.
And you know, we can pick up shovels, so of course that means we can telethrow on shovels.
We said anything, we meant anything.
Yep. We're going to go for a super extended teleport dash here.
Ah,
I'm missing it.
Unfortunate. If you did that correctly, then we could have seen the end of the level way sooner. Like, we can clip through this gate like practically immediately. And yeah, we can now go onto the goal ring here.
forgot
Nice
how to
ending.
function.
Mm-hmm.
But that is Radical Train is honestly kind of an easy level. It's like if you hit the ETD, you save like 7-10 seconds, but it is an omen for what is to come. That is like the calm before the storm. Except for this guy. This guy's an asshole. This boss sucks. You want to explain why?
So this is the Shadow boss fight, and it is very similar to the Sonic boss fight, except for the fact that it is annoying in about every way possible. So we're going to try and hit Shadow with all the barrels and stuff. I don't think the shovels can really hurt him.
No,
I
they
think it
don't
has to be-
they don't deal damage, but you can still pick them up and throw them at him. So they're just a nuisance.
So we need to attack him as much as possible with these barrels. Sometimes Shadow can actually land on the barrels as you're throwing them and get sent a million miles to the other direction, and it is very annoying when that happens. Got one more hit, and a lot of the times there's a good chunk of barrels that actually miss Shadow entirely. So you have to make sure that we get quick hits there, and a 48 is not much to complain about.
Not bad. Yeah, it's about an average shadow time, but it's like if you miss a barrel or he rides on a barrel, because if he goes onto either side of those trains, he doesn't jump over. Like, you have to physically go to him to get him to jump over. So you lose a bunch of time.
Indeed.
Now we have the first telethrowless silver stage. This is just ETD City.
So we're going to use a bunch of super extended teleport dashes to get through this level. We are literally in the last section of this like 5-minute part of the level or something.
I don't know. I haven't played the game.
Yeah. We're also going to be doing teleslides, which is just sliding along the floor by double tapping the A button. It's a lot easier on an upward slope, but you can do it if you hit the A button the next frame after jumping.
It's a 2-frame window, not a 1-frame window. Nerd emoji moment, but yeah, it is. It's typically more consistent than ETDs, especially because I tried to go for a clip there, but we messed it up, so we're just gonna take the time loss and leave.
So we're going to go through, and we're going to go into an unheard of prophecy: silver combat, bottom text.
It's truly
Silver
a bottom
combat
text moment.
can. Silver combat is very strange. You have to stun a lot of enemies with your stun slap, and usually you would have the shock bracelet here to make this combat way easier. But that does, of course, mean your inputs. You won't be allowed to use ETDs or SETDs even.
122
That was
without.
a very.
Yeah,
that was a
122
That was a very
without.
quick kill. Wow.
122
That was
without hope and clip is pretty nice. But yeah,
That is
so
a
if we
very
actually
fast
bought the
combat
shock bracelet earlier, we wouldn't be able to hold X, and that means we wouldn't be able to extend those teleport dashes for as long as we want to. Like, you can extend those teleport dashes as long as you hold the X button. So it is very vital that holding the X button isn't tied to an action. So now that we're done with that, we get a bit of a break. We get hub world movement, bottom text. That was the hub world movement. And now we get an escort mission. But the game does not really do well with escort missions. There are 2 of them in the game. They both suck. This one is Anna. Protect Anna, she knows the secret. This mission is supposed to be a combat mission, but the combat, like the enemy spawns, are all relative to Silver's position instead of Anna's position. So we can just hang back, none of the enemies will spawn, and she'll keep running. However, if there are enemies behind her, she will run just a little bit faster. So that's what I did there, is I went forward and then I went back in order to scare her. and that saves 1 to 2 seconds. So we have nothing to do for the next 45 seconds. Any donations?
And in the meantime, we got
Well,
time to read.
Yeah, might as well read, because if you are here for the first time, I know there are a lot of people who aren't, regulars of the channel. If this is your first time here, then welcome to the Sonic Speedrun Communities channel. After a year or so of respite, the SSC events team is back and here to serve the community with marathons, tournaments, showcases, and discussions. Make sure you follow the channel for a range of streams from across the series in the future. It's a good time to be had by all. Alright, take it back.
It's live.
So what is the
reaction.
lore behind these guys?
I don't know. They're out of bounds. Why did the mission not end? Okay,
we made
okay.
lore.
I apparently messed up the
about
scare.
those two guys.
Oh, did we? I don't know the lore. Yeah, that was... I clipped out of bounds there, and those NPCs you're normally not supposed to see, but we clipped out of bounds, so we saw them. They're very funny.
They are very funny.
I quite like them. But now we get into actual gameplay. And by actual gameplay, I mean 3 more town missions. This is the longest stretch of required town missions in a row, at 4.
We have to get through the forest again, and waiting at the end of the forest is the Trials of Soliana. These are required side missions that we have to beat, heavy quotation marks on have, but for the sake of this marathon, we are
it's faster to beat them. There is a way to skip them, but it took a timing method change to make that slower, so...
Yeah, we can indeed skip these trials, but we're going to just skip them individually instead. Including
yeah,
this
we don't
one
have to. That was supposed to be a combat mission, but the game doesn't check to see if the enemies are dead. They just check to see if you touched place. So, 6.3 is actually a really good time.
We just clip through the cage and we touch Blaze and the mission ends. So now we're going to go into the next one, the Test of Memory. Oh, this is a very scary, tough one. That was a good first section. That was an even better second section.
Oh!
That was an incredible third section.
2.2 is crazy. So that mission is just it's kind of a warp portal maze, but it's like the guy just asks you like word recognition games, but it's the same portal layout every time, so we just go to the portals. But I played that so well. Okay, thanks for getting scared, man. 2.2 is crazy on that mission, but this is the only trial that actually really matters. This is a combat trial without objects. So we have to manipulate enemy AI into throwing the stuff we want them to throw.
We're going to pick up rockets that the enemy shoot at us, and we're going to throw them about in a way that we can clear out the enemies as quick as possible.
Didn't target.
That's a bit unfortunate, but... That didn't kill him? Come on, man. Dude. Oh my god.
That's a bit unfortunate. The guard got up before you could stun staff
before I could pick him up. Yeah, that would have been like a low 40. That is unfortunate, but 57 ain't bad.
Yeah, we take what we get, and with that, we now have access to the Eagle that will take us to Kingdom Valley. Like we said, the Kingdom Valley mirror is actually active, but we can't actually. But to reach it requires a lot of very precise like wall hovering, and it's a very, very crazy trick that only saves time in real time on console.
Not loadless, unfortunately, but any of you want to talk about what's about to happen, hopefully?
Yeah, so this is the tele-launch. If we pick up an object like we just did, and we lift it like that, we'll get sent 1,000,000 miles in the air, and we can just get to the end of that section. I didn't have time to explain anything.
Yeah, I kind of popped off. Sorry about that.
Very clean. That was an exceptional tele-launch there. But now we're going to go for Sonic Skip, which up until recently has been a very inconsistent kind of fable. But recently we've just said, you know what, screw it, we're gonna make it work for us. So we use this box to telethrow around a bunch of invisible walls, and if we hit this right, we'll hit a frame perfect extended teleport dash very soon.
Nice!
And
Oh my god.
we get right to the end of this, to the end of the level. Up until recently, it's called Sonic Skip because there's a Sonic section, and previously we would have to play as Sonic and then use the purple
Wow,
gem
that
to
was a
skip to
very
this
good
section.
time.
104?
104?
104.
Jesus Christ.
That's a
That's a very,
fantastic
very
That's
good
so
time.
good. The best time I've ever gotten in a run is a 103.1. So, sheesh.
Very nice performance from Rev. Now we have to go back to the future and go take down Iblis. But before that, we need to get to him by going through Flame Core. This section isn't necessarily that hard, but it is very, very hard under pressure. This is the level at the end of the run where anything can just about go wrong.
This is not an angle I want to take.
So we're trying to use this little capsule base as a way to make our box tilted.
There we go.
And
That is
if
a
we do
much
it-
better angle.
And if it's tilted enough, we can telethrow on it and we can go right to the end.
This is a very good angle, actually. What the hell?
Very, very fast.
I didn't hit the
Missing
ETD, that's
the-
fine.
Missing the ETD there, no big deal, but we just
Oops.
need to hit this one.
Yeah, this
We
is
need
to
to hit
skip
this
the
one.
second combat, because again, we can't clip through that door, so we just go around. Free one up, thankfully.
And of course, this is Flame Core, so of course we have a chance of getting completely screwed over at the end of this section
Okay,
here.
we're fine.
Alright, we're
Yeah,
fine. We're chilling.
these puffs can hit you in midair, and if they hit you, you're done. Like, they hit you in the air, you are dead, and you don't hit a checkpoint, and you have no way of recovering. So, thankfully that did not happen, and I'm hoping to God it doesn't happen in Shadow Story. It's only happened to me once ever, and it was as Silver, on record pace. So,
Where you got hit at the last gap.
yeah, at the last gap,
Oh.
I was on record pace. It was very unfortunate.
Has that happened to you in the other swords too, or just
No,
Silver?
just Silver.
It's happened to me in all three. It's very funny.
Didn't hit the clip, so we're just gonna do this. Flame Core Section 2 has a lot of targeted damage boosting, as you'll see. Just a lot of ETDs. There isn't really any way to telethrow, because it's all indoors, so... Well, I need to get that before I damage boost. Can't damage boost with no rings. Fun fact. And now we have this last room, where I'm going to pick up all 6 rings for a double damage boost over here. Hopefully we can clip through the door. Oh my gosh. All right, we're taking the casual playthrough route. I'm with it.
So we're going to try and extend a teleport dash over here, and we're going to be using as much of our bar as possible by tapping our hovers. And we get hit by that damage wave, which will allow you
Oh,
to
nice.
damage boost. That was a
Did-
very clean ending.
You did not get hit twice like
Yeah,
most
no,
people do.
you can hit an ETD there to skip the second damage boost, and it saves 2 seconds, so...
Very nice. But now that is the last stage of Silver Story. We just have the boss,
The final boss
And-
of Silver.
and this boss is very interesting to say the least. This boss can range from 2 minutes 20 seconds, 3 minutes 10 seconds,
Or 124.
or under 2 minutes, or if you're very stupidly lucky, a 124. We need to pick up these Cocoa Puffs as
Oh
much.
my
Oh,
god, you've
it's
got it. I'm
already
gonna
over.
restart. No, I'm gonna restart. So
Yeah, that's about a
okay,
good.
you're
That's
gonna
a
get the
good demo
stuff
of how
now.
this boss goes.
So if
We need
all
to
of your
pick up,
hits, so I need 3 hits from these batches. There's going to be a second batch later. I need 3 hits in order to guarantee a 220. If I do not get those 3 hits, I lose 50 seconds. It goes from a 220 to a 310, which is, fun fact, not ideal. So restarting there only lost me 15 seconds. So if as long as we get a 220 here, which we are on track to,
Yeah.
we should be fine. This is actually a
Yeah.
lot, but are they gonna hit? This might be the RNG, fellas. So
no,
if you
this
get
is not 125 worthy. I think this is 150.
no,
Uh-oh.
I mean that is the RNG. The RNG. No one's gotten the stuff in a run besides. Yeah, okay. So
Besides
Alright,
one
so
person.
for a bit of lore here, like we said, this can be a 150, this can be 220 or 310, but there is a very, very rare chance that you can get a 124 in this level. By hitting the right amount of Cocoa Puffs and getting the best cycles possible.
it is actually
you can hit it.
absurd.
It's only been done by, I
4
think,
people.
5 people.
I'm one of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, Flub,
Flub is
DSS, Maddie, and Tony are the
So
only
one
4
of-
people.
And if you want to know why it's called the stuff, I highly recommend trying to look for that
Yeah.
video. But it is, it was originally, I guess, found by Otonishi, also known as Tony. That where he just constantly yells, "That is the stuff," for about 20 minutes over because he got it at the end of a dead run.
Oh, that was 1 hit off of sub 2.
Oh,
It's actually
Oh.
funny because I missed one of the scripted Cocoa Puffs, so.
yeah.
But we got a 220. We made it through. We didn't get 310.
Yeah.
We almost got 310. But
To explain the full lore behind this boss, it's like it would take us like 30 minutes. Like, there's just so much. I made a video about it, actually.
you did make a video about it. But that is the end of Silver's story.
Yeah,
that
there we
was
go.
a,
Onto
GG
the-
Silver.
that was a pretty decent
onto
Silver,
the-
yeah. That was
On to the
a
third story.
2937, which is like a mid 44. No, high 44 on console, which is pretty good.
And now we're going to go into Shadow Story. Now, Shadow Story has it's very, I suppose, objective based, if you want to put it that way. But we're going to be abusing our speedrun tech as much as possible. For one, Shadow has a super far homing attack compared to Sonic. Like, his homing attack goes way further. So generally, his general movement involves just homing attacking everywhere. We can also interrupt homing attacks by homing attacking up a slope, and that will give us a bit of a speed boost.
Yeah, and we're going to exploit that a bit coming up. If we pause buffer like we did in Sonic, we actually homing attack into the ground, and we're able to carry our speed and clip through doors. That is going to be essentially our B&B throughout this entire story. We're going to be seeing that constantly. But now we're going into Rouge's section. And do you want to explain what's happening here?
We're going for this clip. All right, Flob, take it away.
Hey, let's go. So this stage, you basically skip like a good 3 or 4 or 5 seconds of it by just doing that clip. And then we're going to be playing as Shadow, avoiding the checkpoint for a very good reason, as we'll mention later.
Because I would never die,
you-
right?
Yeah.
Surely.
Yeah, sure. And so you want to hit all these searchlights, and it's very tough to do so. Like,
Nice.
basically, one of the toughest things, honestly, in this game to do.
So,
you hit all
since-
those searchlights.
Since we switched characters and didn't touch a checkpoint, we get results breakout. But if we trigger
Yep.
a text box, we actually get to end the results screen early. Because for whatever
Yeah.
reason, text boxes hit the same flag as the ending of the results screen for some reason. Thanks, Sega.
Makes
So we get to
sense.
skip the result screen and save some time. But this boss sucks.
Yeah, so Egg Cerberus wasn't as bad in it wasn't that bad in Sonic
Oh.
Story, but
Okay,
in
we're
this version of the fight, everything can happen.
There is a
It's
genuine
truly chaos.
iceberg of jank that can happen.
Yeah, this boss is just so much more out of control in Shadow's story, as you can see.
Welcome to
I
Serbia.
have no rings. Yeah, this is Serbia.
Yeah, playing this boss with no rings, very scary.
Alright, I'm gonna hit him over here so that the rings are in the way. Giga Brain play. Okay, never mind. They're not in the way. Fuck. Actually, no. I'm gonna go for the stun strats.
Backup, do the backup. Yeah, there we go. And then hopefully he doesn't run off.
Yeah, so when he's at half HP,
There
his
we go.
face
Oh,
armor-
wait! You've gotta be kidding me, man. Okay, so
Oh.
if you miss an early hit at half health, you lose 20 seconds because he does the longest attack known to man. Actually, you know what?
Oh, are we going to be funny?
Oh, never mind. The searchlight isn't there.
We
You
had
can
a chance
you
to
can
be
despawn
funny.
this
So,
boss on
there
emulator.
is- So, yep, if Egg Genesis despawn wasn't enough, you can actually despawn Egg Cerberus exclusive to emulator. If you're high enough and you hold a Chaos Sphere and wait for him to jump, he can actually just get despawned. And it's exclusive to emulator. It does work on console, it just doesn't take you to the results screen on console.
For some reason. It's generally reserved as a backup as it's slower than just getting good RNG because you need him to jump up. But it's useful sometimes, especially because it skips the S rank just like Egg Genesis.
Indeed. So now we're going to do a bit of hover movement. We're going to see a lot of homing attack spam here. And hopefully we don't hit any signposts and or civilians.
That was very clean.
Very nice.
So now we're picking up our first upgrades, the air chip, which allows us to light dash, and the memory shard, which allows us to activate Chaos Boost, which we won't really see until Flame Core. So
We
just
have
have-
to see it here.
I mean, yeah, we do pop it right here in order to get into Kingdom Valley, but we don't properly see its use cases until Flame Core.
Yeah. For some reason, it's only possible to get through here with the Chaos Boost because lore, I guess. But there's
Lore.
like no other use for that, like, you know, exclusive wall breaking tech, I guess.
Yeah, it's the only time that happens, and I'm pretty sure it's only that wall that is like only breakable with Chaos Boost.
But yeah, shadow vehicles. We're going to be seeing 2 more of them. We saw the buggy in the first one. We see the hang glider here for 14 seconds. And then we're going to see the hovercraft in just a bit. But first, we need to get through the Rouge section by not playing as Rouge. We're going to go around Rouge and clip through this door with a pause clip. And here it is. Here is the hovercraft. This
Yeah.
thing controls.
It does. The vehicles in 06 get flack for being hard to control, which is fair, because the game never really explains how to control them. It's like, if you want to turn, you never hold the control stick. You just want to repeatedly tap it. It's like, stuff like that is like, they're very consistent to control for speedrunners, but as a casual player, it is very confusing sometimes. Because they all have their own little bit of jank.
Indeed.
Now, I held left whenever the section was starting right there to dodge those rings, because this S rank is actually kind of tight. So we are, of course, going to try to dodge it, but I'm trying to avoid as many points as possible. I'm going to go for a clip right here.
Ooh, we're doing
Hopefully.
fancy clip.
There
So
we
if
go.
we clip and jump, we can make it through.
That skips
make
a
it through over there.
very lengthy set of stairs. I messed up the rope skip, so we're just going to take this, and then take some dash panels, and of course, skip some combat. I did not want to do that. There we go. We can just jump off of that box onto the spring, and yeah. And if I don't
Shadow's
hold,
homing attack.
and if I don't hold the direction there, I actually don't hit that dash panel, so we get to skip this automation as well.
So we're bouncing through, and we're going to go through just a tiny bit more automation here. We're going to do a clip here.
Come on. There we go. What? Oh my god. Tried to be
Unfortunate.
fast.
Yeah, that's not typically what's done, but oh, we're going for it again.
Yeah, no, this route is faster. It's 2 seconds faster on emulator because pauses aren't timed. Well, I guess they are timed here because it's a marathon, but you know.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It's what I'm used to.
We're doing more grind excels here, and are we going to go for... No, we're not. Unfortunate, but we can...
Scary. So I'm
we
gonna
can
get hit
jump up
here
here.
to avoid the S rank, and hopefully we miss it. Since I died, we did lose all of our points, so we should be fine for it.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, you should be fine. Yeah,
Yeah.
very easy to avoid.
Not even close. If you get a faster time, it does become genuinely super hard to dodge.
Absolutely.
Now we're on to Crisis City. Funnily enough, Crisis City Flame Core in both Sonic and Shadow. 3 stages in a row.
And Iblis.
Crisis City.
Yeah, and Iblis immediately after.
Crisis City is fun. We start off with the buggy, and we get to do a cool little half-pipe strap, but before that, we need to control the buggy.
Again, you
The
do not
buggy-
want
the
to.
buggy
You do not
has
want
a-
to. You do not want to hold a direction.
The buggy has a speed boost, I swear. Whenever you see the little things open on the back, that's a speed boost. And we are going to be using that speed boost at this half-pipe here. If we boost at the right time towards the end of it, we can get flung very far into the level. So let's see.
That was pretty good. The flip. Oh, I got
the flip.
teleported to the ground. Let's go.
That was pretty nice.
I still wonder
And
why that actually happened.
I think it's because your falling speed is like gradually increasing while you're in the buggy. I think. But that was section 2.
shoutouts to the PlayStation 3 version. That half-pipe skip can be way more chaotic because the vehicles are so much lighter.
Yeah, for whatever reason, the vehicles are lighter on PS3, so you can get launched directly to the end of the section instead of having to take a rail. But for now, we're just going through basically the same stage as Sonic. We're gonna jump on this and homing attack onto this rail in order to skip some combat. And then we're actually gonna do the clinch jump as Shadow, because it is easy as Shadow. And then coming up, we're going to have our first instance of a rock launch. I guess our only instance of a rock launch. I'm going to try to displace Shadow on this automation to hopefully break out of it so that we can do the aforementioned rock launch.
Let's see it.
Alright, so we've broken the automation. We're going to go to this rock. And we're going to die because that is not the right angle.
Whoops.
Unfortunate, but that is the lamb sauce. We kick on a rock to send it flying while we're on it, and if we do it with the right angle, we can get launched way further into the level.
Sure, I'll go for it again.
Yeah,
Why not?
it's funny. Seeing Shadow trip over a rock is funny.
It is funny. So I'm actually going to stun the worms this time. Actually line it up. No, are you kidding me? I didn't get my jump. Very unfortunate. But you see the vision. I can stop going for it.
Yeah, just imagine you went to the place.
That's
that
true.
was speedrun.
Oh, oops. Oops. That trick is simultaneously easier than it looks and tougher than it looks. Like, sometimes it just kills you for no reason. Like, the first one was I got breakout again? Come on, man.
No, I guess, you should have gone for it another time.
No. I'm not gonna waste everyone's time just sitting here doing the same thing over and over again. Now we just jump on the sphere, hit the spring, and we go through about like 10 seconds more automation before we finish the section. Now we have another hang glider section. We didn't really mention it in Kingdom Valley, but the hang glider sections force runners to perform the Herculean task of 1, avoiding objects properly, nice one, and 2, counting to 3, because this vehicle also has a boost. In fact, all of them have boosts. So this one can be activated every 3 seconds, and it is the fastest way to go through these sections. So there we go.
Are you gonna go for the rocks?
Oh, hell no. So there are more rock launches in this section, but they are infinitely more risky.
Oh,
Very much only reserved as a I want to kill this run strat and IL strat. So, no. God, no. It would be cool, but I don't have the guts. We're gonna do a big jump here. Chaos Spear. And now we have... Oh...
that
Okay,
was
hit the spring again.
interesting.
That was a very interesting angle, but now we just have a lot of grinding.
A lot of rhythmically tapping the X button to success.
It's like, this is a lot of rail grinding.
Shadow going, and there is the rail section. It takes a while, but, you know, I swear, it does end. Going to do a bit of a corner cut here with Shadow's super far homing attack. And we're going to just kick our way through, pick up a life for safety because awesome.
Yeah, all stories.
And we clear out with a 413.
It's like, this stage is so long. This is like by far the longest stage in the game.
Yeah. Not if you do the rocks, though.
Is End of the World faster if you do the rock launches? I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, Kingdom Valley and Crisis City Sonic are would be the slowest if you do the rocks, because you'd get like a low 330.
True. Anyway,
Like
onto Flame Core. This stage is very similar to Sonic's Flame Core, but also very different.
There's a really cool skip you're gonna see in section 2.
Yes. We'll get to it. We'll get to it.
We gotta do the same tight jump there, except it's a lot easier because Shadow's homing attack goes super duper far.
Oh,
That was a bit scary.
So we're gonna get a capsule here, and we're gonna pop Chaos Boost. And the important thing you need to know about Chaos Boost is if I hold A during a homing attack, I'll charge a snap. And now, the next time I homing attack, I'll automatically teleport onto my target. And I do mean literal teleportation. It brings you to the direct coordinates of whatever you locked onto. So that allows us to open that box and teleport onto that spring without defeating the worm. And we're going to do that, we're going to abuse that to skip this next combat room, because again, we can't clip through this door, but we can teleport through it. Aim to jump on this door for a damage boost. Very nice. And close out the section.
Shadow's Flame Core is indeed one of the more high skill levels in the story, but we're going to go into section 2. We did not get puffed
Thank God.
that hard any of the times, but we are going to do a nice little trick called Chaos Control. We're going to get this capsule here to charge up Chaos Boost, and if we do this correctly, we'll charge a snap there and homing attack onto this rail. And for some reason, if you homing attack anything that has a bunch of homing attack beacons, you'll just get sent to the coordinate 000. And if you angle it right, you can hit the checkpoint as you go through the death planes, and you can just die and land in the checkpoint. That saves so much time.
Yeah, it saves like 15 seconds. Yeah, for some reason, when you snap onto something with multiple beacons, it just is like, I don't know where to send you, so we get to manipulate that there. And we do the same skip as Knuckles, except this time we're going to damage boost. That was a very good Flame Core. That beats my gold. Wow.
That was very speedy.
217 is crazy. Normally, runners aim for like sub 230 on that stage. Start button, please. Okay, there we go.
So now we're going into Iblis Phase 2, and I did lie earlier, we are not going to be doing this the same way as Sonic. Instead, we have a very cool strat that actually works on console, believe it or not. So we're going to do a bunch of damage abuses to hit that glowing orb, and we're going to do a very particular setup, and what this will allow us to do is allow us to get damage boosts at the right time, and we are going to clip out of bounds. And when we're out of bounds, we're going to do a bunch of very specific setup stuff. So we will see here, we're going out of bounds, pause clip through this wall here, and do a bit more setup. We're going to jump into the void, and if we hold a Chaos Sphere right before we hit the death plane, so we can see here,
Gotta do a
49.7.
bit of math.
So if we fall for 21.5 seconds, then some stuff is going to happen. We're going to end up right above the death plane. And for whatever reason, I think when Iblis starts to attack you or goes underground, the game stores Iblis like underneath Shadow's current position. We will see right here that an intangible version of Iblis is going to spawn under Rev very shortly. Right, there he is. And if we wait for just a little bit now, the game will kill Iblis on the death
Thank God.
under the death
Yep,
plane,
there you go.
and that's
The
it.
boss is done. At
Iblis has been
127 with it
beaten.
too. That's really good.
127 is good. Yeah, so essentially we force Iblis to go below the spot where the game is like, hey, nothing should be here. So it ends up deleting his boss data, and the game is just like, the boss doesn't exist anymore. I guess you beat it. Sure, move on. Go about with your day. So, we're very thankful that happens. Because that saves a minute, an entire minute. But now we have, kind of a filler stage. This is Rouge Tropical Jungle. There isn't any objective to this stage. We just kind of have to make it to the goal ring. But we can do a little trick known as a moon jump. So the way
Very
gliding
nice.
works in Sonic 06 is they don't actually like decrease the gravity that you have. They just kind of apply an upwards force to you to like counteract the gravity. But if you release glide a frame before you land, you no longer have the gravity, but you still have the upwards force. So it shoots you into the air relative to how long you've been gliding. So that allows us to skip the entire stage and save like 15 seconds. But it is a frame perfect trick. You need to release the frame before you land.
Very tough trick, but Rev gets through it no problem.
Now we have Sly. You want to take it away?
Oh, it's Mephiles Phase 1. This is, this boss fight has a bunch of RNG to it. We need to attack enough of these shadows to charge up our bar at the bottom. And we have a bunch of specific setups. There are going to be circles there are going to be circles of shadows that spawn around Shadow. Like this. This is the second circle, so we need to kick them out of the way to get more bar. This looks like a 4 circle if I'm
yeah,
not
this
mistaken.
is unfortunate. No, that's the wrong
Nah,
dialogue.
it's a 4 circle.
Very unfortunate.
Ideally we would only clear out 3 circles here. But we just gotta get a little bit more, and usually that means another circle will spawn.
Yeah, I was gonna try to pop it early, but so now we get to pop Chaos Boost and force Mephiles out of our shadow. And now
And
we
then
just
we need to attack him by charging up some Chaos Snaps.
Why he's moving a lot. God damn.
He is moving.
That
And
was
with that,
unfortunate.
that's Phase 1. Now Phase 2 is with Omega. You get to play as Omega in this game. This is complete RNG. Mephiles can move to 1 in 7 different
Ooh.
locations, including the one that he is in currently. And if he stays in the same place as he moves, your bullets will do 2 hits of damage instead of just the standard 1 that it would. We already saw 1 double hit earlier. Let's see if he will cooperate with us. This is complete RNG if he stays in the same location or not.
Yeah, it's a 1 in 7 chance every time. We only got 1 double hit, which is fine. I did
Yeah,
get
that's-
rolled in the
that's
first
fine.
part, though, so 140. Yikes.
A bit of an unfortunate meth one, but yeah, it's how it be sometimes.
Yeah, it's how it happens.
I have a very unhealthy obsession with Methless Phase 1.
Yeah. It's a fun IL when you get lucky. But now we are similarly back in the present, and we have to meet up with Rouge. First, we're going to pick up an
Okay.
upgrade, and then we are not going to meet up with Rouge, because that means
Yes.
cutscene, and cutscenes mean load arrow. So, we're going to do some pause clips in order to enter Radical Train early. Because again, they didn't bother to put checks on anything besides Sonic's story.
This one can be a bit finicky in particular, but if we just jump at the right time, and hopefully Omega doesn't screw us over, because even Omega just being there kind of screws up a bunch of things.
Because he has an absolutely massive hitbox, so... Dude, what the heck?
Size of this lad.
I don't understand.
They fix your angle. Maybe neutral stick.
There we go.
There we go. And that
So now
allows
we're
us
into
to
Radical
enter
Train.
Radical Train early.
So now, either of you want to explain the gimmick of this stage?
Yeah, so the gimmick is you have to destroy the train by triggering laser walls and stopping it from moving. This is basically the inverse of a Sonic stage where we have to protect the train by flicking a switch. But with this part in particular, we would have to just wow, I'm blanking out. Wow, that was weird.
We can instead clip through walls in order to skip the train portions, like the beating up of the train, because we can actually beat the section faster than the auto kill timer. So we're going to charge a snap here, teleport onto this spring, and the section's done, but it is not over.
Very nice. We now go into section 2. Section 2 involves the motorbike, and the motorbike can be if like as something as little as a pebble bonks into this thing, you will flip out in several different directions. So we're going to be controlling it as much as possible. We can instantly destroy carts by hitting them on their side. It only takes like 3 shots, and with that is Radical Train Shadow.
That second section is very, very easy to mess up. Again, if you hit anything even slightly the wrong way, you're spinning out and you're dying. It is very unfortunate.
Indeed.
Now we have Shadow's version of the Silver fight, which is somehow even easier than Sonic's version of this fight. Because
this
we
is
can homing attack
ridiculously easy
through the train.
Silver does not know the concept of jumping past this train, and our homing attack range extends far enough that we can hit him through the train and just stun knock him basically.
Perfect. No, I'm not gonna skip this cutscene, and I'm gonna let the magic play.
All right, I see. One for the people. We must be quiet for this momentous occasion.
Chaos control.
There you go.
That's
Beautiful
all we needed to
cutscene.
see out of that.
But now we're in Aquatic Base, which, much like Silver's Aquatic Base, is very broken. We do exactly none of it by the rules. So I'm going to clip through that, skip some combat, and I'm going to clip through here, and skip precisely 90% of the section. This is the final corridor, and we're done.
Yeah, there we go. Aquatic Base Shadow has a lot of cool little skips like that, and by little I mean absolutely massive ones,
Yeah.
like that one.
But the rest of the section is very linear. We'll do a few pause clips to skip some combat, but otherwise, we're mostly playing by the rules. Mostly.
Yeah, mostly. There's like a cool combat section in the end of the level, but we can probably take this time to hear a word or two from our lovely host.
Then a lovely word I shall supply you. Yes, we have had a donation through from Tethys, who gives a generous $20 and simply says, "Go on, lads, do it."
Go on!
Go on, lad!
Go on, lad! Shout
And
outs to
that has
Tethys.
gone. Yes, shout out Tethys. Indeed, that has gone towards making the language for Sonic Generations to be French, which currently sits at $30, sitting far ahead of English, German, Italian, and Spanish. So if anyone wants to hear a different language, I don't know, maybe you want to brush up on your Spanish. I probably should. So then you know what to do. With that out of the way, back to the run.
Excellent. We are done with Aquatic Base, and we're going to head back to the past again, because we just went to the future for some reason. This game technically has
No.
a story.
We're in the past now. This is 10 years ago. And now
True,
we're going back to
dude.
the present.
The game has a story, man. This story.
There's a story.
So there's supposed to be a mission here. We're supposed to collect information on the Scepter of Darkness, and the way we are intended to do that is to protect an archaeologist from a bunch of monsters. But we can actually jump around the mission trigger, and since we're speedrunners, we already know where the Scepter of Darkness is, so we can just go ahead and grab it without ever triggering the mission. So
A
now
bunch of clean Hubbard movement.
and
Gotta light the birthday
can-
candles.
Light the birthday candles.
Sorry, I beat you to the joke.
I can't believe this.
Very. And then we immediately die because that takes us back to next to the archaeologist, and we're going to clip out here. Very clean, and then we are now able to go to Wave Ocean.
And we get
Wave
to
Ocean.
skip mission 14. So far, we have not played a single town mission in Shadow Story.
Quite amazing, really.
But now we have 43 seconds of counting to 3. Woo.
Whoa.
If you have anything you want to say, now's the time to say it. If you have anything more to add on.
Yeah, I might as well. If you are enjoying this Sonic speedrun goodness, then we highly recommend checking out our friends over at the Sonic Adventure Era Speedrunning Events channel and Joey and Babes. Both teams have upcoming events for runs that you'll get a taste of during this birthday blast. Be sure to catch the Sonic Pocket Adventure Tournament from August 12th to the 13th on Joey Baby 69's channel, and the Team Chaotix Limited Tech Selection Tournament on Sacer_events. Alright, that
Shoutouts.
will be from August 4th to the 20th. Yes, sorry. Back to the run.
Excellent.
Shoutouts to Tethys, who donated earlier. He is basically the backbone of Sacer events. Everything he does for the Adventure Era is fine and mighty fine, and we really
So-
appreciate him.
Now we're playing as Omega, and Omega is known for being very broken. His hover, you can spam it, and you basically get no height decay. So we can go around a big invisible wall to skip the stage, but that's lame,
Oh,
and that's boring.
We're going for
We're
Ooh.
going for a bit of a weird strat. We're gonna line ourselves up and hopefully clip through the wall.
Ooh, this
Come on.
strat is extremely difficult. I'm very surprised we're actually going for this.
I'll go for it once, might as well. Come on, man.
Actually, I should mention while we're in Omega, a little fact about Omega. Omega's actually faster than Sonic.
Yeah, Omega
Yeah, he
has
is
the
the
fastest ground
fastest.
speed in the game.
Like,
Yeah, for whatever reason, he goes insanely fast, and
Dude, why can I not?
as we're trying to prove here, if you're fast enough, you will clip through anything.
I hate box
Very
clip sometimes.
unfortunate.
I
Yeah, box clip is very much an IL thing, but we're going to go through the cooler way, which is
the
spamming
cooler
hover
way.
around.
Nah.
Nah, it's cooler. You spam hovers across.
You mash the A
around
button,
an
you get
invisible wall.
RSI.
I mean, we get RSI anyways playing a shadow, so
That's
might as well
true.
add to it. This is a very weird argument I've gotten myself into.
Saying that mashing the A button is faster than, or is cooler than phasing through a box. I don't believe it, man. This is what you do in the run. You just, wow.
Yeah, there's a whole shadow section with a bunch of like, which with basically just a maze of going around the ocean with the hovercraft, but we can just go right to the end as Omega by just going around the invisible wall. Nothing stopping us there, except the invisible wall, which did a terrible job of it. But
Yeah. A lot of the invisible walls in this game are one-sided for some reason. It's like that's the first thing you do when you create an invisible wall. You make it two-sided.
yep.
I guess they didn't have the time
Now
to do that.
we're going into the only required side mission of this entire story, the combat one, mission 15.
The
That's,
combat
I
one.
think,
It's way more interesting than that.
one of the combat ones. So we're going to pop a capsule which will fill our bar, and we can do a bunch of chaos snaps on a bunch of enemies.
Yeah, Chaos Snap.
Very
It makes Shadow's combat like super interesting, but I genuinely don't think we would have enough time to explain everything that Chaos Snap does. It is genuinely like there's like a laundry list of things it does. It is one of the most convoluted abilities ever introduced into a Sonic game, and all of it is intentional.
Yeah,
but just know,
an
if
entire-
I homing attack onto an enemy and then hold A, I'll do 3 damage. And if I hold A when an enemy is defeated, I will automatically snap onto the next target.
Indeed. There is a. I'm pretty sure there was like an entire essay just written on
Yes.
Chaos Snap.
Gordon has an entire essay written on Chaos Snap, and you can view it for yourself if you join the 06 Discord.
It is an impressive write-up on how the thing works, but now we are going to go on to our last level. This is Dusty Desert. Dusty Desert is going to start off with a hovercraft section, and we are going to be doing a very scary trick called Flip and Clip. This is a strat that, you know, sometimes it works when it wants to, which is not great since this saves about 30 seconds. And it is very, very finicky to have at the very end of the run. We'll see if this works.
Oh, we're fine. Nice.
Oh, wow.
So
that
we
is
flip
very
the vehicle
sketch.
over in order to get it to automatically destroy itself, and for whatever reason, the sand at the end of the section is solid, so we can clip through the door.
Yeah, specifically around the door it's solid, because everywhere else is just void, basically.
Yeah,
It's
sand
basically
is
just retextured water.
sand is literally just retextured water. But now we're indoors, and we're gonna be doing something else funny with Omega.
We're doing the Omega strats.
Yes.
Oh,
So
very
we're gonna kill this
spicy.
enemy. We're gonna get a very funny camera angle, seizure, and then we're going to run at this wall until we clip out.
Yeah, again,
where am
Omega
I?
is the
Okay, there we
fastest
go.
character. Omega is the fastest character on
Oh, wait,
foot,
no, that's where
so
I'm supposed to be going.
I do not know where you are.
No, I know where I am. We're fine. So Omega is the fastest character, which means he just gets to phase through walls when he wants to. Yeah, we're just hovering.
Yep, hovering to the end of the level. And are we going to go for the results breakout
Yeah.
slash skip?
Actually,
Alright,
I don't know
we'll
if I
go-
hit the checkpoint. I mean, we're gonna go for it, but
Yeah.
so again, we switched
So-
characters. We presumably did not touch a checkpoint. I actually didn't pay attention to that. So we should get results breakout, and we can do something funny with this. We can. Oh, I didn't do it at the right time. Oops. Well, we get to skip the results screen. If you trigger the text box a little later, you get to actually skip the gold medal animation, which is even funnier.
Alright. And now, ending off, Shadow Story will be Mephiles Phase 2. This is kinda similar to Mephiles Phase 1, or at least the first part of it. We're going to use these shades for a little bit extra of our meter. And if we get enough of it, we can actually skip an entire goon. Now, you might be thinking, what is a goon? Well, Mephiles is going to dive into the darkness here and spawn a bunch of big enemies with all the shades he's made. So we ideally would want to kill 4 of these to get enough meter, and if we killed enough shades at the beginning, we will only kill 4 of them. So we're going to get enough meter there, and get meter from this guy. Mephiles will spawn Mephiles will spawn 3 more goons, and we will hopefully skip the 3rd goon that he spawns. So
No.
we'll see how well this goes.
I'm standing in specific positions to proc them to use certain attacks that allow me to hit them faster. Ooh, this could be good.
Let's see.
Depends on how much I get from this guy. Are we gonna goon skip? Oh my god, I'm actually like a
Aw.
pixel off. That's crazy.
Unfortunate.
So we had to kill the 3rd guy, but now he appears, and we're basically just gonna wail on him until he gets to about half health, but then we want to do some health manipulation stuff. So now that he's at half health, I'm going to specifically do an entire chaos attack combo here, and then the next hit, I'm gonna do all of it except for the last hit. And that'll leave him with 3 health. Now, if I charge a snap, I get to skip his entire ladder sequence that he begins at 2 health. Because I deal 3 health instantly. And that was the end of
And
Shadow
that
Story.
is
Yep,
Shadow
there you
Story
go.
is done. Now we have one more to go. The final frontier. We have Last Story. Woo! Give it up for Last Story.
Woo,
Woo!
this is Sly's favorite
Hooray.
category. Woo! And it shows.
Yeah, the only good category. Yeah.
Last Story is actually pretty tough because it contains probably the hardest IL in the game. End of the world. So we're gonna hope that it goes well.
Yeah, hopefully. So End of the World has a bunch of different sections into it where we play as every character except Sonic and Blaze, because Blaze died at the end of Silver Story, and
Spoilers.
Sonic is dead.
Sonic is dead currently.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So we are going to...
Oh no.
Oh,
I got capped.
unfortunate. We want to make sure we don't hit the high cap. Cut this big corner here. That should make it nice. And then we go right to the emerald here. We need to collect all 7 Chaos Emeralds to revive Sonic. Now is the Omega section. Omega section in Flame Core consists of a lot of mashing the A button. There's like a bunch of stuff that we go through casually, but we're just gonna skip all of it by just going around it. You'll see absolutely none of the interior
Around the
except
bloke.
just the end, around the bloke. And we line up with this platform here that goes up and down.
Speed. And then we are done with Omega section. Onto Knuckles, where we must hold the X button and then glide. And we do that 3 times. Very exciting.
Yep. This is actually very in-depth. If you go the casual route, you have to do the whole Tropical Jungle maze section that no one really likes, but we can just go right to the end and pick up the emerald. Now is the only actually relevant section of End of the World, the silver section. This is a very lengthy section, and we're going to use a lot of extended teleport dashes.
Aww, that was so close.
Unfortunately, missing the box, which is the box strat saves quite a lot of time, but it is a bit finicky in which way the box launches
horrifying.
towards you.
Yeah, so the goal there was to get the box to get launched underneath me, because that red eye of Solaris does spit out the same thing every... Oh my god.
No.
Okay, that's unfortunate. We get to go for it again. So the red eyes of Solaris spit out the same thing every time. So, oh my god. ETDs are hard. Exhibit A. Oh my god, man.
It's okay, you're gonna get it this time.
For sure. Ugh.
Okay. Let's see if it will happen this time.
Come on. How the hell did that not...
Unfortunate.
So now
But
we're
we get to
gonna-
just teleslide up here because teleslides are very easy because this is a big upward slope. so we
Ow.
can teleslide along the floor very, very easily, hopefully not getting too much damage on ourselves. And I guess we should kind of explain, Iblis has been freed and can now merge with Mephiles to make Solaris. And Solaris basically ate the entire world or something, I don't know.
Pretty much. So that was the
And,
silver section. Very unfortunate, but
And there are a bunch of eyes of Solaris everywhere. The red ones will throw items at you, and the darker ones will pull you in. And if you touch them, it's instant death. And then there are a bunch of orbs around the area. Those orbs will clear out all those eyes for a temporary amount of time.
yeah. But in certain sections like that, we can just skip them. Now, anybody
Speedrunning.
like walking?
Speedrunning. We get to use Amy's double jump.
Whoa!
Let's go, Amy. Yeah, you can see why this double jump is really slow. It gives you absolutely no horizontal momentum, it only goes vertical. We're going for a quick walk around the White Acropolis while these eyes try to kill us.
Somehow they were like, yes, let's make the linear stage the one that Amy goes through.
Yeah.
And now there are a bunch of eyes that spawn in this room, but they're actually lifted off the ground, so it's impossible to get sucked into them unless you jump, which is very nice. But now we have an actually hard section again. This is Shadow.
Shadow section in Kingdom Valley goes very in-depth with everything. Gotta make sure we don't get hit there. Thank God we didn't. And we just gotta get through. We're going to go for a pause buffer here to homing attack the dash panel and get a bunch of speed off of it.
Oh, what? I got hit by that guy? So normally you can M-speed there, and it actually allows you to get through without getting hit. Because normally you have to take a hit, but I was too slow. 405 is very unfortunate, but I didn't get the box, so to be expected.
Yeah, still very nicely done. And with that, there is one more boss fight. Well, there are two separate phases of said boss fight, but there is, we're going to face off against Solaris. We are now the super forms of all the main hedgehogs. We first have to get through the silver section by mashing the Y button to get to silver, because fun game. And now we need to deal with RNG. We need to pick up these little rocks that Solaris throws at us, and hope they don't explode on their way to Solaris.
Oh my god.
Kinda like
Yeah,
that.
very unlucky there, but
Come on, man.
no, you got it. You got it. That was good.
This is still alright.
Yeah, yeah, 4 hits there. Nice. There we go.
That's the
So-
only really aggravating section of this entire fight. There is more to it. The shadow section, we need to charge up our chaos spheres and unleash them on Solaris
Oh my god.
and
I got sniped.
not get hit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm doing particular movement here in order to try to get the Chaos Spears to double hit, which they can do for some reason. These spears just kind of have a mind of their own.
Absolutely. So now we're going to go into the Sonic section, or get sniped in the silver
Yeah.
fight.
So now our goal is to take damage so that we can damage
that was
boost
a good
through.
one.
Yeah, normally
That
you have to
was
fully
beautiful.
charge Sonic's attack, but if you take damage before,
Oh my!
Oh,
if you take
wow.
damage slightly before, you get to go through. With
Oh,
that was
what the
that was a
What?
very good
This
Sonic.
was so
That
fast.
was insane.
I don't get
Oh
sniped.
my.
Okay.
Oh my word.
that
was
very
actually
nice.
insane.
Ow.
It's taking very unfortunate hits, but that is a crazy Sonic section to have. So now we're going to spam Shadow the Northeast and unleash our spears when they're charged, and that will take us into Phase 2. The timing ends when we beat Phase 2 of this fight.
Yeah.
So
Once
that
the
is phase
HP once the HP reaches 0, then that's when time
So I'm gonna
is
go
up.
down. He's gonna fire a laser. Oh, I got sniped on the way
Oh,
there. What?
Oh my!
Oh,
I've never seen that happen before.
Oh, it
What?
happened again.
There's
okay,
no
it's okay.
way. All right, I guess we're doing
That
a
is-
second hit as Shadow. All right. Fuck.
That
All
is
right.
cut.
Sure, man. Get me out of here. Oh, what the hell?
Oh my!
I've
The
never
snipe
seen that
cut
happen
is
before.
real. So we were just gonna spam northeast, and there's a bunch of things whether he's preparing to fire a laser or he is firing a laser. There's a bunch of things that can happen. He can parry if he's not either charging up a laser or firing a laser. So we want him to, not parry as much as
Oh my
possible.
God. Dude, what is this guy on today? I might actually have to switch out.
Oh, you are
Uh-oh.
on. Oh, this is actually very
Oh,
scary.
wait, no.
What the hell?
This is very scary. You might actually have to
All right.
switch out.
Screw this, man.
Well,
All right.
you gotta go for the Sonic
I
ending.
don't
for the
understand.
fans, obviously.
All right.
Go for the Sonic ending.
Sure, it was
All right.
canonical. That didn't hit? I've never seen this
Okay.
before. Oh my god.
Wow, this is a very.
This is the
unfortunate
worst
ending for
Solaris
Solaris.
I've ever seen. Dude!
Oh, no.
What the
You're
what
gonna
the
have to
hell?
switch.
Alright, I'm switching to
Yeah.
Shadow again. I have
Okay,
never
it's okay,
been
it's
rolled.
okay, it's okay.
I've never been
Okay.
rolled this hard. Dude.
We never see this attack, by the way. This is insane.
All right.
Okay.
And
Oh,
time.
Jeez, that's time. What
we
the
go.
hell, man? I have
4
never
minutes Solaris.
in my
Yeah.
life. I played. Oh, never mind. It's a 30k S rank. I forgot. I was about to say I played so bad I missed the S rank.
Mhm.
That was the worst Solaris I've ever seen. Like, not even counting like counting anyone else. That's insane.
That was definitely a Solaris.
That was a
Hey, listen.
Solaris.
Hey, listen, the last time we did all stories in a marathon, I got a terrible phase 1, so, this is payback. This is a terrible phase 2 for you.
No, dude.
Continuing the trend.
I can't believe
Continuing
it.
the trend.
But
Yeah, that is it for all stories.
Yep.
That is every story in Sonic
the
the
entire
Hedgehog
game.
There we
2006.
go. Yep.
there's a 151. Not terrible.
Yeah,
bad
honestly,
at all.
yeah, not too bad. And we were pretty optimistic with the estimate too. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
205 RTA.
20 minutes. 20 minutes ahead of estimate.
I mean, I'll
Despite
take it.
even
Yeah,
Thank you
I
very-
like melted down in some places, but that estimate was for if I melted down in literally every split possible.
But yeah, that will wrap up
Yeah.
that will wrap up the all stories run. Rev, do you have
Yep.
any final words to mention?
Run this game. If this run wasn't enough to convince you to run this game, I don't know what to do, man. If you want to run this game, join the 06 Discord. A bunch of people are free and willing to help out wherever possible. So, yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, of course.
And thank you, Flub, for joining me on commentary for this funny run. This was
Yeah, of course. It was a lot of fun.
this was a run. That was an
Yeah.
ending to the run.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. Any shout outs any of you want to give?
Well, I just want to say shout outs to Focus for basically motivating and like introducing the game to so many people as well, myself included. Shout outs to Nick, who's the current world record holder of this category on console. And yeah, just shout outs to everyone in the community for being so awesome. I love this community. I love the past few years I've gotten to be in it, and yeah, y'all are amazing.
Yeah, I couldn't
Mwah.
have said it any better.
Thank you very much for having us. Great showcase of the entire game, Rev.
Yeah, of course.
I was glad to be here.
Yes. Yes, indeed. Thank you very much once again, Reverie, for bringing us this absolute run, I believe is fair to say. All right. Well, do join us in giving a GG in chat for the run, and Go and follow them if you wish to see more of this and anything else they might be working on. We're going to be back in just a few short moments, courtesy of Dwoliv and Spectral, who will be running Sega Sonic the Hedgehog. It will be a beat the game co-op run, so look forward to how that's going to work out. Meanwhile, I'll be leaving this hosting chair vacant in the capable hands of the ever delightful Broken Hyperlink. So please do say hi to her when she comes in, and until next time, I'll see you later.